Maisie, are you there? We have to have a serious talk right now. I've had just about enough of this. Did you really eat my food out of the fridge? I made that food for me to eat and put the leftovers in the fridge to be my meal when I got home. Now I have nothing to eat.
Oh, hey there, Cheryl. Nice to hear from you too. If you really must know, Barry told me that it was if I ate that stuff. So, I don't get why you think it's okay to be coming at me like this when it isn't even my fault. If you're really going to be so upset over this, maybe next time you should make enough food to feed the whole house. Have you ever thought of that?
And just what makes you think that I should have to cook your food as well as my own? Aren't you capable of cooking your own?
Did you seriously just say that to me? Are you being serious right now?
You know, I was okay with it happening if it was a couple times a month. I can let things like that slide. But you've been stealing my food out of the fridge almost every day now. I buy all of the ingredients myself, and now I've been paying for 2 or 3 people's worth of food just to have enough for myself. If you really want to eat my cooking, then the least you can do is help pay for it.
Wow, I really just can't believe you right now. Are you seriously trying to extort your husband's little sister for money with this shtick?
Look, I remember that you once told me that you worked freelance and only ever took home about $1,500 a month. It isn't like I can't understand why you would want someone to pay for your food.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just figured that since we're sisters-in-law now that you would want to make sure that I was always taken care of. I mean, my brother is letting you live in his house after all. It really is the least you could do. But honestly, to try and steal from your own sister-in-law like you're doing now, well, I guess I just never thought you were that kind of person.
Are you seriously bringing this nonsense up again? You know that this isn't how things really are.
Well then, why don't you tell me how things really are then, huh?
The house that we're all living in belongs to my parents. How many times are you going to make me repeat myself?
Well, that might be true, but my brother is the one who earns all the money at home, right? So basically, if it weren't for him and his income, we wouldn't be able to live here, right? So the way I see it, the house really belongs to my brother.
You do know that I also have a job, don't you? I mean, you do realize that we both do leave the house every day to go to work where we have to earn our own income, right?
Right, but the main earner for the house is actually my brother, right? I mean, he earns more than the rest of us.
But the fact is that the house is my parents' house. It's my childhood house. You do understand that, right?
Cheryl. Don't you ever get tired of having the same conversation over and over again? I mean, can you really not see how selfish you're being? I'm going to show all these messages to Barry and make him set you straight. You're going to regret going up against me.
Cheryl, what is the matter with you? I just finished talking with Maisie and she told me all about the horrible things that you were saying to her. I thought I told you that you need to quit fighting with her. I think the least you can do to make up with her is to cook her dinner tonight. Honestly, how can you be so selfish and cruel to someone like Maisie?
All right then, Barry. I can do that if you pay me for the food that Maisie is going to eat.
Excuse me? You can't be serious about that, right? I know that you didn't seriously just suggest that to me. Do you even hear yourself right now? Honestly, sometimes dealing with you can be so difficult.
You probably already know this, but Maisie actually puts a lot of stock into you around here, even though it's my house. She seems to think that you have the run of things because you earn the most money. And yet, despite earning all that money, why aren't you doing more to pick up your sister's expenses if you pity her for having them so much?
Oh, what? This again? I don't think we really need to open this can of worms again.
Listen to me. Maisie used to only come over a few times a month, and I had no problem with it. But now she's here almost every day and is driving me up the wall. This house belongs to me, and I would just like a bit more privacy while here.
I see. So basically what you're saying is that you're going to try and go against me, the real breadwinner of the house?
Wait, what? What are you talking about right now? Please tell me that you didn't actually just say that. Do you even realize how ridiculous you're being right now?
That's right. I finally get what you've been trying to say this whole time. And if that's how you're going to be, then I will always take Maisie's side over you.
You can't be serious about this right now, right?
No, of course I'm serious. I'm the older brother, and it's my job to watch over my little sister. She's my family, and it's my duty to take care of her. You're the one in the wrong here.
And just what are you going to do about it, huh? Kick me out of my house?
Well, I have no other choice. I mean, if you're going to treat my little sister that way, then you have to be punished somehow, don't you think?
Hey, why don't we all calm down here for a moment and think really hard about this? Are you really sure there isn't something important that you're forgetting right now?
Don't try and come at me with your usual threats. They aren't going to work on me this time. Maisie and I are going to stay at my parents' tonight, but tomorrow we're both coming home, got it? You have until then to move out of the house with all of your belongings in tow, or else I am divorcing you.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess I could always try and go to stay with some friends or something then.
I don't care where you go, just get out of this house already.
All right already. I understand it. Well, goodbye then.
Just stop texting me and leave already. If you can text and you can pack, we want you out of this house right now. Hey, Cheryl, are you there? I'd really like to talk if you have a second. I feel we haven't talked since you left the house. I'm wondering if enough time has passed for you to think about what you did wrong. I just want you to know that if you're ready to apologize, then we can let you back in. But until then, you aren't allowed to come back home, okay? I mean, honestly, what is the point of keeping up all this fighting? For pride? That's silly. Just come back home and apologize to Maisie and I, and we can put all this behind us. Don't you see that?
Cheryl, are you there? Please stop this already. I mean, just how long do you think you can keep this up? All you have to do is come back home, say that you're sorry, and then my brother will forgive you for everything. Don't you want to come home? Don't you want to save your marriage? You can do all that, I promise. You just have to come to us and say that you're sorry for everything. Okay, seriously, Cheryl, what is going on here? Why are we having these heavy boxes being sent to the house right now? What is the meaning of this? Barry's gone to work, and I can't seem to get a hold of him. I need answers now. Do you understand me? Get back to me when you see these messages. Cheryl, are you there or not? This strange old couple showed up at the house and they wouldn't leave until I beat them up and threw them off the property. I told them that the house belonged to my older brother, but they just didn't seem to believe me. They told me that they left the house to their daughter and didn't know how I was.
Maisie, are you serious? Have you seriously not figured out what's going on here yet?
Cheryl, you finally answered me. I want answers, and I want them now! Who were those old people? Are they friends of yours or something? Did you send them here to try and kick us out of the house? How could you be so cruel?
Do you really think those two old people are just complete strangers, totally unrelated to this situation? That was actually the second time ever that you've met those people.
Well then, who are they? I seriously have no idea who those old people were supposed to be.
They were my parents! Duh!
Wait, those two people were your parents?
That's right. My parents moved away to another state about 5 years ago because my dad got a transfer in his job. He just finished his stint away, and the two of them are finally coming back to their home. All those boxes that are showing up are full of their belongings.
No, you can't be serious about this. I mean, it's not their house. It belongs to my brother.
Maisie, you know that we've gone over this again and again and again. I told you that the house belongs to my parents.
But, so, you were being honest about all that?
Of course I was. And just because you tricked yourself into seeing it some other way doesn't change the facts on the ground. Did you seriously think I was lying about any of what I said?
So then, whose name is it on the deed to the house then? Yours or your parents'?
If you really want to know, my dad is written down as the owner of the house. I was taking care of the house while being allowed to stay in it while the two of them were away for work. That was just before Barry and I got married, and I invited him to move in with me and live together. Now do you realize that you've been officially kicked out of that house?
I guess so. I suppose it would be weird for me to keep staying here if your parents were going to be living here.
Good. I'm glad we have this settled then. Now why don't you run off back to your house already?
Hold on a second. What if my brother just buys the house from your parents? What do you think about that?
You're not serious about that, are you? You want him to buy the house.
Of course I'm serious. I mean, just think about it. If Barry buys the house, then nothing has to change at all.
Yeah, I really don't think that is going to work out well for you at all.
Why not? It's the perfect plan. I mean, Barry works for a huge company. Surely he earns enough to buy any house that he wants.
So I guess you really had no clue about any of the truth after all, huh?
The truth? What do you mean by that? What are you talking about?
This is going to be tough coming from me, but Barry only takes home about $1,700 a month.
Hold on a second. What did you just say? My older brother only earns $1,700 a month?
Well, even though Barry and I work at different companies, we're both about the same position in our respective jobs, and I make double what he makes.
Wait a second. You earn twice as much as Barry makes?
That's right. Although I guess I should make a connection. We're of similar rank in the company, but Barry is a temp, and I'm not.
Wait, what? Why am I just hearing about all this for the first time? What is going on here?
It was about a year after Barry and I got married. He made a huge mistake that ended up costing him his job, and he has always had trouble finding new work after that. He had actually stopped looking for some time before I told him that he needed to do something, so he went to work for a temp agency. Ever since then, he's been doing the same thing.
Seriously, I had no idea about any of this. I mean, is my brother really just a temp?
You can choose to believe me or not. It really doesn't affect the reality of the situation either way. But you should know that I've been paying for all of the utilities, food, and everything else that we've all been using at this house. That is why I have a problem with you spending more and more time here and suggesting that I pay for everything that you need as well.
I don't believe this. This is all too much to take in at once.
Well, anyways, I say all of this to explain to you why your brother won't be able to just buy this house like it's nothing.
So he's just another bum? Earning nothing?
I'm glad that you finally understand the situation. Now please, pack up your things and leave my house already. I can make sure to send some of your boxes to your address. The sooner you leave, the better.
But my parents are going to be so mad at me if I go back. Please don't make me go back there. You have no idea how strict they've always been. But if they found out some of the things I was saying to you or doing, then I don't know what they'll do to me.
Don't worry. I actually already called ahead to your parents, explained to them everything, and asked them not to be too mad at you.
So, you talked to my parents about all this already? They know about everything already? Oh no, this is really bad. What am I gonna do? I'll be in huge trouble back home.
That's right, I did. I imagine that they will be somewhat mad, but I don't think either of us can really blame them for that, right?
I suppose you're right, but I'm really scared.
That's okay. You just go on home now, okay?
I'm so sorry for everything I did and said before, Cheryl.
Cheryl, are you there? This is really serious. You had better get back to me. I had completely forgotten that your parents were getting back here today. Why didn't you ever remind me that they were coming today? I just got back from work and I saw the two of them there waiting for me. They looked so pissed. When I walked up to them to greet them, they both just started yelling at me, launching into this tirade about all the things wrong that I've done. Not only that, but I heard that you told Maisie about my job? Why would you do that? You've completely ruined the image that she has of me. Now my only sister hates me, and it's all your fault. Even my parents don't want me to live at their place anymore. What am I supposed to do? You have to help me.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We're getting a divorce.
Wait, what? You can't be serious, right? You really want to end things with me? I don't even understand what I did that was wrong. Please don't do this to me.
Of course I am. I am very serious.
But then I'll have nothing, no one. What am I supposed to do without you? Please don't do this to me. I need your help. Cheryl, please, come back. You can't leave me.
Without anywhere else to go, Barry had no choice but to try going to his parents' house one more time. Barry's parents have always really liked me, and when he went back, they were still furious with him for what he did to me. They also had no idea he was working for a temp agency. After our divorce, he found a new job at a famously strict company. Although even after starting work there, he never regained the confidence of his little sister. I heard that he didn't even last long at the company, and was eventually forced to go back to his parents for a second time. Maisie, now totally disillusioned with her older brother, decided to enroll in a beauty class and studied until she found a job at a salon and raised enough money to move out and live on her own, away from the rest of her family.
Hey, Shannon, it's been 5 years, right?
Who is this?
Huh? You know me, right? Stop joking around. We miraculously reunited today, didn't we?
What are you talking about? Please tell me your name or I won't know what you're talking about.
Fine, I'll tell you. It's me, Tariq.
Huh?
Your ex-husband, Tariq?
How do you have my account information?
Seriously? You don't know yet? You came to the entrance ceremony at the kindergarten yesterday, right?
The entrance ceremony? Your child goes to the same kindergarten as mine?
Yep, she's my second child. It seems that my daughter is in a different class as your daughter, though. But it seems like a child of my wife's friend is in the same class as your child, so you must have exchanged contact information with her. She gave your contact information to my wife, which is how I got it.
Could you not hand out my contact information like that?
Calm down. I have no intention of getting back together with you or something. My wife knows I have your contact information, so there's no need to worry.
Your wife is Sarah, right? The woman you cheated on me with 5 years ago, which was the cause of our divorce and also an old friend of mine. It's obvious she finds the situation hilarious.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I think it's hilarious as well.
Don't contact me anymore.
What?
I guess it can't be helped if we see each other at the kindergarten, but I have no intention of being friendly with you two. Bye.
This gets more and more hilarious the more I think about it. If you, who was infertile, were at the kindergarten, then that must mean that you married someone who already had children.
Huh?
Even if you come to the entrance ceremony pretending to be a mother, it's not your actual child, so it's a bit funny thinking about it.
So you still think I'm infertile?
But you couldn't bear a child in the 3 years that we were together, right? Mom said that if a woman can't bear a child in 3 years, then she must be infertile.
But I never even got myself tested for infertility. It must have just been bad timing.
But the truth is that you couldn't have a child, which means that you're infertile. You knew this, and that's why you married a single father, right?
I'm my husband's first wife, and the child that was born between us is also his first child.
Stop being delusional.
I'm delusional?
Yeah, these are the sad fantasies of a woman who can't give birth. You really are strange.
Fine. Our children go to the same kindergarten, so we'll probably see each other again whether we want to or not. So I'll tell this to you now to prevent any misunderstandings in the future.
What is it?
I've already given birth to 3 children.
Huh?
My eldest son, who's 3 years old, the one who came to the entrance ceremony yesterday, and 2 twin daughters who were half a month ago.
Huh? You're infertile but have 3 children? That means your husband had 3 children with his previous wife, right? Stop making weird excuses. It's confusing.
I gave birth to all 3 of them.
But you're infertile and...
I told you that I gave birth after we divorced. Do you not understand that what I'm trying to say is that I'm not infertile?
Huh? You gave birth to them?
Yes, that's what I told you multiple times. Oh, and it's not like I underwent some sort of infertility treatment. I gave birth to them naturally.
Then why didn't you get pregnant in the 3 years you were married to me?
Why are you asking me that?
Tell me.
All I know is that there were no problems with my body. You think about what other possibilities there might have been. Goodbye.
Because of you, my wife took my children and went to her parents' house.
What? Don't get me involved in your fights, please.
I'm not involving you. This is your fault. I wanted to find out whether you had actually given birth to your son, so I dropped off and picked up my child to and from kindergarten as much as possible so I could have a chance to meet you.
Oh, you're talking about 10 days after the entrance ceremony, right? I was with my husband, right?
Yes, that husband. I tried to talk to you, but as I tried to approach, he suddenly appeared from behind your back. I thought I had seen him before, and so I looked closely at his face, which is when I noticed that he was the executive director at my office.
Apparently, I only found out when he told me after we got married.
I know that he has a son the same age as my daughter. When I heard that his wife gave birth to twin daughters a few months ago, does that mean that what you were saying was true?
I see. So that's why you ran off without even talking to me, your face pale. I haven't seen you since, but I'm not complaining.
Something terrible has happened to me.
What?
I did a bit of research after that and found out that men being infertile is more common than I thought. I did a DNA test with my child. The result was, well, he was my child.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, but my wife found that I had done a DNA test behind her back, and she got furious at me for suspecting her of cheating.
Oh, and that's why she took your children and went to her parents' house. But I don't see how that has anything to do with me.
If you hadn't said anything strange, I would have never done a DNA test.
Wouldn't this have never happened if you never bothered me in the first place?
Then why did you reply to my text?
Because you still insisted that I was infertile, and you even said that my husband was a single father or something. Don't you think it was only natural for me to get annoyed and correct you?
But you were supposed to be infertile.
You were just being delusional. If you have the time to complain to me like this, then why don't you make up with your wife instead? Bye.
This is so unfair. You're so much less attractive than me, but you're the wife of an executive director? And to think that he works for the same company as Tariq. To think that she would get married with someone even better than Tariq after he threw you away. I stole Tariq from you, only for you to find someone even better. Unfair! That's so unfair. I'm gonna steal this new husband of yours.
I can't do this anymore.
Huh?
My family's on the verge of collapse again.
Oh, you're talking about how Sarah tried to seduce my husband into going to a hotel together, right? I heard that Sarah was a newly hired part-time worker at you and my husband's client company. Apparently, my husband filed a complaint, so it's only a matter of time before she gets fired, though.
What is this? Ever since I met you at the kindergarten again, my life has been crumbling apart piece by piece.
You're making this my fault again? Is this a hobby of yours or something?
Why did you put your child into that kindergarten? Did you do it on purpose? You were jealous of me and Sarah, and
I don't have enough time on my hands for such stupid matters.
you're saying this is stupid?
Yes, no matter how you look at it.
What?
Why don't you calm down and think about this logically? It just happened to be the case that we enrolled our children in the same kindergarten. I didn't do anything to you. Do you understand that?
Uh-oh.
Which means that if you hadn't went out of your way to get my contact information just to annoy me, this never would have happened. Don't make me repeat myself over and over.
Shannon, I turned in my divorce papers earlier, so could you get divorced as well and get back together with me?
Huh?
Let's just give custody of our children to our current partners and give birth to children of our own. It seems that neither of us are infertile, so you were getting a bit old to give birth, but you can handle one more, right?
Jesus, will you seriously never leave me alone?
What?
It's been medically proven that too much stress makes it more difficult to have children.
What are you trying to say?
Don't you get it?
Huh?
You bothering me like this all the time is a huge source of stress. Your parents were the same when they were living with us.
My parents?
Yes, they were just like you. Every time I met them, the first thing they would say was, "Give us a grandchild." They would tell me this more than a dozen times each day, which almost drove me to insanity.
But they never said that to Sarah.
Of course they didn't.
What?
You have an older child, right? Sarah got pregnant with this child, which is also why you divorced me. They wouldn't tell her to give birth to a grandchild if she already did, would they? Judging by what you said earlier, it seems that Sarah got custody of the child, so if I were to marry you again, I would be thrust back into the same hell as before with them telling me to give them a grandchild over and over. Why would I do that?
Fine, I'll keep an eye on them and make sure they don't say that to you anymore.
But I have no intention of divorcing my husband, and I have no intention of letting go of my children either.
What? Really?
Why did you even think that I wanted to get back together with you in the first place? There's no chance no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, but if the two of us loved each other enough...
I lost my last ounce of love for you when I found out you cheated on me with Sarah.
What? Then what should I do now? I already got divorced.
I don't know.
Just open the front door, will you?
What?
I came to pick you up. I know that the executive director doesn't go to work on Mondays. This is our chance to make an escape without being bothered. Come on, I'm outside the backyard. I can come in if I break the window in the living room. Hold on. If I could just get a hold of you for a day, then you'll have no choice but to get divorced.
Are you an idiot?
Huh? Is that how you talk to your husband?
If the executive director doesn't go to work on Mondays, then he isn't at the office now, right?
Yeah, that's why...
Then doesn't that mean there's a high probability that he's currently at home? In fact, he is.
Huh?
Apparently he's going to tell the company about this.
No way.
We already called the police, by the way.
I hear sirens.
There's no use trying to run anymore. Goodbye. I didn't expect that he would try and break in our house and get caught by the police. Not long after that, Tyreek was fired from his job. We received an alimony from Tyreek and Sarah, and after that placed a restraining order on them. I haven't seen them since. Apparently, both of their families got involved in a fight over who would get custody of their children. Since neither of the parents were functioning adults, the grandparents of the children had to settle things for them. Each family would gain custody of one child, and they would be adopted by relatives. The relatives of both Tyreek and Sarah cut ties with their families. It seems the six of them, Tyreek, Sarah, and their four parents, all are currently unemployed. There are eyewitness accounts saying that they were living together under a bridge, but it's uncertain where they really went.